it's genuinely harder because we don't have a naturally attractive archetype that exists in the media, that exists in popular culture. So when you see men from your friendship group who are black men, who are white men, potentially doing a lot better than you, if you're an Asian man, if you're an Indian man, then the fact of the matter is this is not just something that's in your head. This is not just something that's an excuse that you're making. Brother, this is real. And if you want to know what you can do about it and win anyway, well, this one's for you. So let's go, coach. What I would say is you've seen a lot of this, coach, and you know it's facts. Am I right?
No, yeah, definitely in my time, I've seen like with a lot of minority clients, especially, they've been going to like, I hate to say it, like JBW, like Just Be White coaches who's telling them like, it's your energy, buddy. Fix your energy. But in reality, you got this like handsome guy who has better reception and better overall
receptivity, frame,
Yeah.
and he's already basically able to get something right off the bat. So because archetype exists, what you guys have to remember, this is just how the world works. It's just how the human brain works. The way the human brain works is basically it captures experiences and forms beliefs. And once it does this for not a bad reason, it does this to help you survive because you haven't got every single day to wake up and decide how the world works.
Well,
so
also, here, hold up. I was going to say too, like, you kind of get sold a dream or a lie because you've seen it, with my clients who are non-minority men. They would like go on dating apps, have a simple bio, just like iPhone fucking selfies or some shit
bathroom
like that.
selfies.
Yeah, and then like tons and tons of matches
out
and
the
then,
ass,
you're
getting
just
opened.
breaking it over your head like,
What the fuck am I doing wrong?
Yeah, what am I doing wrong? Why is it like that? But then you realize like reception based off of race, height, and look is real. And until as a minority guy you swallow that fucking pill, you ain't gonna get far.
My problem is also that people aren't honest about it. My problem is also when you go online, when you go to different coaches, when you go in this community trying to get some answers, you're told that it's your energy, it's your vibe, it's just like, what, bro, you're not confident.
Why do they always say it's your energy? And
why people say that is because it sells. Why people say that is because you want to have a product that you can market to the most number of people. And if you start to tell people, well, if you're confident you can make this happen, then you don't have to deal with any of this ugly shit and you can basically reach a massive client base. But if you care about results, if you care about actually helping people, you have to give them actual reality-based information. And people don't want to do that because guess what? This isn't necessarily pleasant. But I would rather have the bit of truth than a sweet lie. That's personally how I feel about it.
No, I actually respect that delivery because to be honest with you, I'd rather you tell me the truth than just to get me like, hey, by the way, you're walking too fast, bro. Get back. Get back. Yeah, so like, I'd rather them tell me like a truth or, instead of like a dream, and let them understand that, it's not only like, hey man, if you're confident something's going to happen for you, or if you just do what you do, it's all gonna be based off fallacy. And what I mean by like a fallacy is that, if I'm somebody else at a certain threshold of sexual market value in terms of race, height, looks, or money, I'm gonna be perceived better and get better treatment. But if you just tell me, hey bro, if you're confident, it doesn't matter, which is true in a way once you swallow the pill of your market value and better yourself to the best of your ability. Because when I first came to America as a fucking immigrant, I was getting cucked out the ass until I had to realize like I got a disadvantage being an ambiguous minority, or like, my brown skinned brothers or my Asian brothers out there, my black brothers, but if you have an advantage through the media, you're gonna need to learn how to take advantage and learn to adapt and swallow some bitter truth. So what do you think is some truth bombs or some things they can do to change their mindset instead of being a victim?
The truth,
actually like owning the reality, man.
The truth is, this thing is ultimately a scientific equation. If you want to get this and get somewhere with this shit, this puzzle can be cracked. If you improve, you're out a game. If you improve your communications, your confidence, if you improve your inner game, if you improve your healing, nervous system regulation, and identity, and these things are just what you focus on, whilst also acknowledging and swallowing the bitter pill that we're going to have to hack your SMV. We're going to have to hack your image. We're going to have to find ways for you specifically.
Also, be ready to try harder, man. Be ready to work twice as hard for results, whereas someone else can just step out the fucking door and results will come on his lap.
Of course, and it's no different from how the world works, Steve. For example, in business, you got a product that's been going for, I don't know, hundreds of years, Coca-Cola, right? People
Right.
associate that with like being a really solid product, right? And if I want to bring a new product that's a more niche product into the market, it's not that I can't do it, but I've got to be very strategic, very tactical, right? I've got to position it. I've got to have some sauce and finesse, right? That is essentially the problem and the puzzle we're trying to solve here. And if you look at it as like a niche problem, right?
Right.
That way, you get out of this bullshit mindset and mentality that people can fall into. Some of the comments that we get on our channel is from basically minority men saying, well, you know, I understand it's harder for me, but this makes me feel bad. You know what I mean, bro? Like, listen, your long-term results are what I care about, not your immediate short-term feelings.
Right. Because like,
And if it supports you long-term to get what you're looking for, then I support that. And if it's
also,
gonna...
I would say like you gotta light a fucking fire under your ass because.
Oh, yes.
I was also crying in a victim. You was crying in a victim. Saying,
Oh, yes.
Like, why it's not fair? Why can't I get
Years ago.
dates? You know, yeah, years ago. Why, you know, my friends who are a different ethnicity, you know, why?
Easy mode.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're white or black, you tend
Just
to
exist.
have a better advantage because the media represents you in a very sexual or hypergamous way. You're just gonna have to work hard. I had to get my style right. I had to get rid of my accent. I had to be more of a man. You know, you just have certain like advantages. Let's just say here's one for example, disadvantage. If you're a ethnical looking guy, brown, Indian, or Middle Eastern, if you're trying to be polarizing, aka showing intent that you are attracted to her, you're gonna be perceived as creepy.
Yep.
Whereas the representation of the media, if you are a black brother, anytime you do something that shows intent, your polarization,
Confident.
yeah, it's gonna be capitalized as confident.
Ain't he so charming?
Oh, he know his thing. He's so good because they're portrayed in the media as sexual beings, guys
Oh,
who
yeah.
go for what they want, gangsters. But why, when a brown or Asian person do that, he seems as a creep or
'Cause it's
even
not
God
congruent,
forbid,
right?
yeah, God forbid, fucking assault. So
Yeah.
you have these connotations, these frames on you that you have to break through.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Oh, got you completely, coach. And the thing about it is, yeah, all we have to do is acknowledge how the world works, right? And be like, you know what? I'm going to accept objective reality because objective reality is going to exist a lot longer than my bullshit delusions.
Right.
And once we accepted that, then the only question is, how do we find a way to win? Is that not right?
Well, what was your delusions before being an Indian brother?
My delusion was, you know what? It's going to be easy now. I'm out here doing things while I'm taking action, and I'm just going to do a little bit of this, and everything's going to fall in my lap because look, I'm getting some results now.
Right.
I'm doing a little something now. And then what happened was the ghosting. Then what happened was the lack of retention. Then what happened was I noticed that my results, even though I was working harder than anyone,
I know
were
you were grinding the streets, bro.
motherfucking animal.
Bro, I could tell the viewers some stories where a couple of my white friends would just go out there with
Hi, how are
yeah,
you?
pretty much half-ass of the effort and automatic date, automatic
Easy.
like the girl would literally say
Begging.
No, I know, bro. She would literally say herself like, "When am I gonna see you again?" Because of that perceived value in society, being a white man is so fucking powerful.
Oh, yeah.
That a minority woman would just be fucking Google Gaga there and has like.
Mahapagame.
And we're not saying this.
They
to,
found
like,
their grand slam.
yeah,
I
that
got my
too.
prize.
Well, I want them to know that we're not trying to say this to be like doom pill. We're far
Not at
from
all.
doom pill.
Not
We're
at all.
basically trying to tell them like this is the fucking reality. So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do to change that outcome within yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's not get hit by a car, man. Can we do this? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So here's the thing, yeah. Let's get to solutions and answers and what to actually do about it. Here's
Preach,
what
preach.
we recommend. You got to be a scientist about this and test. You've got to look at this as just an experiment, yeah. So you look at your S&V right now. Are you lean? Are you 15% body fat? If not, you got to get that in check.
Right.
Once you've done that, what's your style? What's your image? Have you got enough edge? Have you got enough polarization? And would your personality right now be congruent with something like that?
That's true.
You got to look at your personality.
What's your archetype? Tell them about archetypes.
Archetype is basically you can appeal to different universal archetypes that always exist, right? So you've got like edgy, you've got like stylish, you've got like confident, dominant, you've got
Artsy,
artistic,
bad
all
boy.
that, right?
Yeah.
What those things do is they like exist universally. They're already like in the popular subconscious. So if you really lean into a specific archetype, that way you can be categorized
Right.
and get some initial frame. Whereas if you just go up raw when you haven't got an
Let's
archetype,
go that way.
you know, that's going to be difficult because there's nothing already
I'll
anchoring
say
you.
like when I coach my brown students, whether short, tall, like there's different categories. You know, they could be like either bad boy or they can
Right.
either be like Bollywood, which is in the movies, or dress clean or dress like the Dubai or
Yeah.
artsy, and that helps add to some niche appeal, because then she'll be like, okay, well, he's not the typical like tech, tech kind of nerd.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna give him like a chance. She's not gonna
Exactly. He's
unfortunately,
different,
she's
right?
Not gonna like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's not gonna make it like easy for him. He's gonna have to work a bit harder because that
Yeah.
receptivity is gonna be low.
Yeah.
But at least you're bridging the gap where the doors open, where she's be willing to have a conversation. And this, and you guys can say whatever the fuck you want. You guys are negative. You're spewing bullshit, but this is just the fucking facts. This is just the reality.
Oh yeah. But it's called being one of one, right? So you are no longer struggling. You're no longer identifying as someone who can't make it work. What you got to do is start to think about it as a puzzle that can be solved and can be actually unlocked. And if you do the right things for long enough, I promise you, you'll get to the other side of this experience to where you can get what you're looking for, man. So, Coach, I'd say, right?
What's up?
The thing is, people are going to see this and think we're whining and being negative, and that's why no one in this space is having this conversation. People
Well, it's the
aren't
hard
willing to
pill.
talk
They
about
don't want
it.
to talk about it because it's all about like sales and how can I make
Just
a
be
profit?
positive, bro. I promise you, there's some guy out there who's doing it. No, bro, live this life.
I mean,
Do
like
it.
I'm the first one to say, and you've seen it, like, and your friends too.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, brown guys, Indian, Arab, Paki,
All
Bengali,
that.
and then all kind of Asian, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese. I've seen it. They go on these boot camps overseas with a super handsome white coach. They see the reception he gets off of a minority woman, and he's just like, hey, this is what you got to do. And then they come to me and they tell me, well, it didn't work. And then they're very bitter, they're very upset, they're like hateful. It's kind of bad too. They get hateful towards women, they get hateful towards coaches.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell them, I'm sorry, bro. You just gotta understand that's not how the world works. How
You
the
got
world works
scammed.
is like,
You got
gotta
finessed.
Get scammed, bro.
I say what it
a
is.
reality with like, halo effect. Halo effect is basically-
SMV.
Yeah, it's your SMV. It's whether it's negative
How is
or
that not
positive.
real? Do we
So
not?
it's like,
do,
how much longer are you gonna just gamble and
Be in
fucking
denial,
lie to yourself?
right?
You know what I mean?
You can be in denial, or you can accept reality and truth and finally get empowered. You know how it feels to know that I know how this works and I know what to do to make it happen.
That way.
It's freedom. It's total fucking freedom to know
So
that I'm.
I would say, just drop the mic on them and let them know
Alright.
that there's a way out if you're willing to just swallow the pill.
If you are willing to accept the reality that we're in and say to yourself, you know what, I've had enough. I would rather have the bitter truth than a sweet light and find a way to win, then I promise you on the other side of that is brighter avenues, brighter vistas, brighter opportunities, happiness, peace, and getting up in the morning truly excited to start the day as the man that you want to be. And if you're interested in really taking ownership and control of your dating and social life as a minority man, then we are the company for you. This is a space for you, designed purely for men like you, tested in the world's most difficult environment
New York
by
City.
the legend Unk over here, Coach D. And if you want to know how to get on our program and how to absolutely transform this area of your life, take care of it permanently, so it's not an issue for you and be free, link below, book a call, let's fucking go.
Thank you, Ravi, and I appreciate that. And like he said, like, it's not over. It's only over when you don't start to accept the truth and get out there and embrace the fact that with your disadvantages, it can become strength, owning who you are to start your journey as a man. Salute, and I'll see you guys in the next one.